the giant down. Deep the strange cemetery things with a one flat foot on the devil's wings.
Hi guys, so I guess I'm gonna do a second video for tonight. Normally on Streaming Sundays I would do one of my poems, but I can't find my poetry book, so I'm gonna do a tag, and it's called Talk About. I don't know, it was one of those viral things that kind of went around, and it ended up in my inbox, and so I thought, why not? Might as well do it. Did the questions, and that wasn't too bad. So, okay, I'm trying to keep the glare from my laptop off my glasses because it's just really annoying. Okay, so number one is talk about the first time you watched your favorite movie. Oh my god. First time I saw the movie Legend with Tim Curry as Darkness and Tom Cruise as... I can't remember the character's name. But anyways, I loved that movie. The first time I saw it, I think I was like 9 or 10. And I was like so freaking like, it was the first time I had ever seen a version of goth when Lily dances at this really like, I'm not going to say erotic because it wasn't. It was more like, kind of like a dark fairy, like kind of just dancing around, and she went from like ragged clothing and dirty and, you know, her princess form into this dark, and oh my god, I loved it. And then you get like the first image of when you see Darkness, Tim Curry as Darkness, their version of the devil, and it was like, oh my god, I was like, I fell in love with the dark side, like, right then and there. I was, like, hooked. So, yeah. Yeah. It was playing on TV. I watched it with my mom, and it was playing on TV, and I think we were laying in her bed watching it on, like, an itty-bitty little screen, little TV. But, oh my god, it was such an amazing movie, and I actually I do own it, and I watch it with my kids, and I love it too, so. Okay, so, talk about number 2. Talk about the first time, talk about your first kiss. Can I split that up into 2? Or does it have to be, like, just, like, the first kiss I ever had? Because my first kiss with guy was a lot different than my first kiss with girl. First kiss with girl, it was soft, and it was really sweet and passionate. And my first kiss with guy, it was really gross. Yeah, it was really gross. He was sort of drooling, and it was really disgusting. 3. Talk about the person you've had the most intense romantic feelings for. Wow, you can see how red my face is right now. The person I've ever had the most intense feelings for happens to be one of my best friends, and I don't know, I can't explain it. It's just, whenever I'm near this specific person, I mean, it's like everything that's wrong in the world is like gone. Just all the stress, it's just gone, and yeah. And I do nothing but smile and giggle, and I'm gonna go on to the next one. The thing you regret most so far. The thing I regret most so far? is, I don't think it's really a regret. It's more of a letdown of just how not close I am with my family anymore. It really bugs me because I'm really big about family and that. So, the best birthday I've ever had. I don't know. They've all been crappy. I'll let you know when I have a good one. Who knows? Maybe this year will be the year I have a really awesome birthday. My worst birthday. My worst birthday was probably my 19th. And I had my daughter with me, and everybody bought me booze for my birthday, and I told everybody I didn't want to drink, and they got mad at me, and everybody ended up fighting, and yeah, wasn't happy about that. My biggest insecurity. My biggest insecurity is it has to do with relationships. Is not being able to communicate very well with my partner when I have a partner. The thing you are most proud of. My kids. Come on, that's an obvious. You guys got to expect. I was going to say my kids. Little things on your body that you like the most. I'm going to have to say my eyes because, in all honesty, it's really weird, but they go from like this vibrant green to a vibrant blue depending on how I'm feeling. And if I'm kind of like in a so-so mood, they're kind of turquoise. They're kind of both. And it's like, I don't know. I don't know. It's like the only thing I really like about my body is my eyes. Biggest fight I've ever had. Biggest fight I ever had. Honestly, was the day my kids' father and I split up. That day was probably the biggest fight I've ever had with anybody. Best dream I've ever had. Oh, best dream I've ever had is where everything just flowed right. It was happy life, happy kids, nice house, you know, good friends around. I don't know. I don't really remember many of my dreams, but the ones I do get to remember that are good, it's usually surrounding, like, being around people that make me happy, so. First time you had sex and how you imagined your first time. I'm not going to talk about that. Nope. Talk about a vacation. I've never been on one, so I can't. The time you were most, I'm guessing that's supposed to say confident in life. I'm gonna have to say the only time I really feel confident about myself is when I'm modeling. And when I'm on here and you guys are actually giving me positive feedback. So, yeah, it helps with self-esteem. Best party you've ever been to. Any that involved my goth mama's place. Those are always fun. Someone you want to be friends with. Well, I can't really talk about someone I want to be friends with because I'm always up for meeting new people and always looking to connect with like-minded people and being able to share, different points of views on the same things and being able to actually just talk to somebody. So, yeah. And if you're wondering what this is, I had a bit of an accident last week. Yeah. and it hurts like hell. Something that happened in elementary school. Something that happened in elementary school. Oh! Yeah. Got two for this. One happened, they both happened on a Valentine's Day dance. It was in grade 8. And the first dance of the night, it was boys on one side, girls on the other. Most popular boy in class had to pick a girl to dance with. Everybody thought that he was going to pick the most popular girl. No. He picks me. I so fucking embarrassed. Like, in all honesty, this kid literally made my life a living hell and then decides he wants to be sweet. What the fuck was that about? And then the same night, we did this whole write our names on hearts, and we had to pick them out of like a little basket or something like that, or the teacher scattered them on the floor. Well, my grade 8 teacher found my name on the floor, knew that one of the guys in my class had a crush on me, and pointed at it, and it was the second time I got embarrassed that night because I didn't like the kid the same way. I felt so awkward because he was trying to be all sweet and cute and stuff, and I just wanted nothing to do with it. Something that happened in high school. It was something that happened in high school that I remember out of everything was the biggest meltdown I ever had. I didn't really have a good home life, so coming to school with bruises and that, and then being picked on at school for being really quiet and different and keeping to myself a lot and everything else, and, talking to very few people. I had, like, the biggest flippin' meltdown in my grade 10 science class, and I didn't really go back to class after that. Talk about a time you had to turn someone down. Recently, actually, I had some guy message me and ask to pay all my bills and crap like that if I would be his girlfriend, and I had to say no. I'm sorry. Not materialistic, so your worst fear. My worst fear besides heights is, I guess like everybody else, is being alone. As much as I like being alone, I'm talking more in the aspect, just I hate and kind of fear being alone and not having anybody there, so, yeah. Oh, someone turned me down. Actually, it was a while ago, a couple years ago. I had a really big crush on this guy, and I kind of got the nerve to ask him out, and he's like, I'm sorry, I'm not into chicks with children, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, guess we can't be friends either. Talk about something someone told you that meant a lot. I guess would be the first time I ever heard my girls say their first words. That means like more to me than anything in the whole world, other than having the person I love the most tell me they love me back. Like, yeah. Talk about a next best friend. In all honesty, I'm kind of sad that we're not friends anymore, and the reason that we're not friends anymore is really stupid, and I do miss her, like, a lot, but I guess everybody grows apart, and I kind of, like, they need to go their separate ways, and well, she chose her path and I chose mine, so, and it ended up not being towards being able to support each other or be there for one another or whatever else, so yeah. Okay, talk about things you do when you're sick. I watch black and white movies, I watch horror movies, reruns of Sons of Anarchy, vanilla ice cream, tea, ginger ale, curled up in a blanket. I guess really typical like everybody else. Let's see. Wow, like 26 questions, 27. Talk about your favorite part of someone else's body. Seriously? I love eyes. Eyes and lips. These kind of lips, guys. Don't get dirty there, okay? These kinds of lips. They're like the first things I look at is somebody's eyes and their lips. It's just, yeah. What turns me on? I don't think I want to talk about that. I can tell you what turns me off. Pervs. Just assuming talking sexual to me is gonna get what they want. What do I think death is like? Honestly, I think it's like your body just goes into like a comfortable numb before you like just fall asleep. Depending on how you die, I guess. Place you remember from your childhood. Willow Lake! It was this trailer park that my aunt and uncle had a trailer at, and I got to spend like every summer that I, like up until I was 16, with my cousin and my grandmother, and it was like the best like 2-3 weeks of my freaking life every summer. What do I do when I'm sad? What do I do when I'm sad? I usually talk to my best friend, or I go read a book, or I just curl up and I watch a really good horror movie. Worst physical pain you've endured? Would have to be my arm. I fell out of the tree when I was 8, and I have this like really bad scar that starts here and comes all the way up here from my arm being hooked onto like a branch or a nail or something that was sticking out of the tree, and I fell out of the tree and I ended up with, oh, it was horrible, and it took like months to heal, and I got like this nasty scar on my arm from it now. Things I wish I could stop doing. Biting my nails. That's biting my nails. Guilty pleasures. I have a bad habit of voodoo dolls. Little voodoo dolls you get for like a toonie and little gumball machines. That is like my guiltiest pleasure ever. Talk about someone you thought you were in love with. Honestly, probably gonna have to say first guy I ever dated. I thought I loved him, and it turned out just to be a whole just boy crazy stage. Songs that remind you of certain people. There are a few different songs I could talk about in that, and I'll just put the links to each song down below, and I can't really explain it. The songs are a little self-explanatory, but most of them have to do with with my best friends, male and female. So yeah. So I'll put down the ones down below that are like remind me of those two people. Okay, so My camera cut off, so yeah. Things that you wish you'd known earlier. In all honesty, that I guess I wish I was a little bit more educated on, you know, everything. I mean, I didn't really get, like, the talks or anything like that, so I'm gonna have to say everything that goes around that area there. Yeah. Talk about the end of something in your life. End of something. Well, let's see. I guess the end of something in my life would have to be both moments I shared with my grandparents before they passed. I was kind of the last one with them both before they passed. And as much as it's really, really sad and everything else, it was also one of those moments you can't, like, ever take back or, you know, wish never happened, because it did, and you end up learning something, I mean, really, really deep about that person at that point, and you really learn something deep about yourself at that point, at the ending of something, especially when it comes to, like, the end of somebody's life. And I guess I'd have to say the end of, well, the death of my first girlfriend. She passed away of cancer, and yeah, it was actually not that long ago. It was actually a couple of years ago, back in 2010, and that was, like, the hardest goodbye I think I've ever had to do was with her, yeah. Yeah, but, there's the, talk about tag. I hope it was what you guys were hoping for, and just making sure I don't have anything else. No, I think that was it. Yeah. That would have to definitely be it. So, yeah. Yeah. Video ended up being longer than I wanted it to be, but it's okay. And I'm in my pajamas now, as you guys can see. I don't look the way I did earlier. I don't look all cute and sexy and hot and yummy, and there's just not much cleavage or anything else, but I'm comfortable, and that's all I care about, is I'm comfortable. Oh, I'm getting tired. It's not even 10:30 yet. Alright guys, but this is my last video for Screaming Sunday. So, as always, I am your morbidly adorable, rotten, kinda cute, living dead girl from the graveyard next door, saying sweet sorrows, pleasant nightmares. Mwah. Back kisses to you all, and I will see you guys in another vlog. Bye guys.
Tonight you will die as a hedge